Is there anything better than dipping your toes in the pool on a hot day? When your skin gets into that cool water, it can truly feel like bliss. Maybe even swim some laps or just relax in the shallow end to soak up some rays. And while all of that sounds great, there are some pretty extreme pools out in the world. So extreme that in fact they're downright scary. Whether they're floating on the edge of a cliff or have massive wave pools, there are some seriously scary pools out there. So hold your breath and join me for today's video as we count down the 15 scariest pools in the world. Number 15. Sac Uayum Cenote. Cenotes are deep water-filled sinkholes that are created by the collapsing of the roofs of underground limestone caverns and can be found all over the waters of Mexico. One of these cenotes in particular, found in Sac Uayum on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, has been on the locals' radar for decades. But what makes it so popular? Well, it's actually a place that many have feared to tread until 2012, when a team of divers found some pretty sinister artifacts. They came across two specific chambers of the cenote that were full of human bones and deformed skulls. After some serious research through the annals of history, National Geographic came out saying that those chambers were used for human sacrifices centuries ago by the ancient Maya. And the deformed skulls were the product of a very specific method of execution that flattened the tops of the victims and sometimes volunteers' cranium. Despite the mystique of the area's gorgeous cenotes, this place is one you don't want to stumble across. Number 14. The Marina Bay Sands. There's nothing quite like being in an infinity pool. The water feels great and the pool's aesthetic looks even better. But what about being in an infinity pool on the roof of a hotel overlooking the crowded city streets below? Well, the Marina Bay Sands pool in Singapore may offer some breathtaking views, but it's certainly not for anyone with a fear of heights. It is incredibly tempting to swim over the edge and look down, but one false move and you may as well be falling into infinity. The Marina Bay Sands is 57 stories tall, so one false move in that pool and you're looking at least a 600-foot drop down into the traffic. Plus, the pool's incredibly long, almost as long as the hotel itself, at 500 feet. It's incredibly expensive to stay here too, and the only way you're going for this ultra-high-up dip is if you rent out a room, meaning this is some of the most expensive vertigo you'll ever pay for. People come from far and wide to Singapore, and the Marina Bay Sands is certainly at the top of the list for many wealthier travelers. And while the pool does offer a once-in-a-lifetime experience you probably won't get anywhere else, no one will judge you if you'd rather stick to lounging on the pool deck. And forget about the vertigo-inducing drop. Number 13. Chongwe River House. It's not uncommon to see a swim-at-your-own-risk sign at the beach. Maybe there isn't a lifeguard on duty, or maybe the riptides are especially bad. Either way, it's a fair warning. But how often does a local pool offer that same warning? Well, the pool at the Chongwe River House in Zambia is one such place. It's located near the Chongwe River Camp. This private home goes for just over $800 a night and offers the type of experience you're not going to find on any other continent. The home is absolutely stunning. The most unique feature here is without a doubt the pool. No, this isn't an infinity pool and it isn't very deep, but it's the location that really makes it stand out. The river house is in a protected wildlife area and it's completely unfenced, so the odds of encountering a wild animal are pretty high here, including at the pool area. It's not uncommon to see elephants, impalas, or kudus making their way to the river for a drink. But the water tends to be scarce in certain parts of the African continent, so you really can't blame the wild animals for thinking your swimming pool is an oasis watering hole. The river house has a staff here at all times ready to escort fearful guests around the property though, if they don't feel like getting too up close and personal with the area's permanent four-legged residents looking to go for a dip as well. Number 12. Hanging Gardens, Bali. If you live in or have ever been to Bali, then you know it can feel like a paradise at times. The lush green landscapes, the gorgeous flowers, the food, the people, they're all unrivaled. And the city of Ubud offers up many luxury amenities and hotels to travelers looking to splurge a bit. But the Hanging Gardens is truly unparalleled. Sitting essentially in the heart of the Balinese jungle, the Hanging Gardens are surrounded by terraced gardens and rice paddies and ancient temples. Overlooking the Ayong River Gorge, travelers can enjoy the 44 gorgeously designed Balinese villas with thatched roofs, outdoor showers, private plunge pools, and spectacular views of the mountains and winding river. But the icing on the cake here is the 2-level infinity pool. Like the others on this list, this infinity pool offers incredible views, but will also happily induce vertigo in those with a fear of heights. Should you go over the edge of the top level, you'll drop down into the pool below, but if you fall from that one, then it's game over. You've become one with the jungle now. Luckily though, the pool at the Hanging Gardens is incredibly safe, and no one has ever fallen to their doom. But then again, there's a first time for everything. Number 11. St. Regis, the Palm, Dubai. Dubai has turned breaking world records into something of an art form over the years, and the Emirate added a new one to the list in 2021. They built the world's first and highest 360-degree infinity pool at the Palm Tower, a hotel and residential building from developer Nakheel that offers seriously show-stopping views of the Dubai skyline. But just how high is the highest infinity pool in the world? Well, it's set at a height of 656 feet. The Aura Sky Pool encompasses an 8,000-square-foot pool deck on the 50th floor of the new landmark, which is also home to the St. Regis Dubai located in Palm Jumeirah. But this record-holding pool isn't open to just anyone looking to take a plunge. In fact, it's not even completely open to hotel guests. If you want to hang out at the Aura Sky Pool, then you're going to have to book tickets well in advance, even if you've already booked a room. Pool times are divided into 3 sessions, either shorter and cheaper morning and sunset times, and then all-day tickets for those with a little more time on their hands and cash in their pocket. The entry fee starts at $46 for morning visits and rises to $163 for full-day VIP experience with access to the entire Aura area. And while both the pool and the deck itself are incredibly safe, one look down and even the most stalwart of stomachs are guaranteed to feel a little bit queasy. Number 10. Joule Hotel Pool. Located in the heart of Dallas's business district, the Joule is a luxury hotel set in an old 1920s neo-Gothic landmark building. One of the more popular hotels in the area, it offers 161 rooms, including 4 penthouses, all of which are decorated with modern touches, luxurious linens, and much more. From the Demi-Joule, a petite urban escape, to the Terrace Suite with its 60-square-foot balcony, there's a space perfect here for any traveler who comes upon the Joule. That is, as long as you've got the money. The hotel's filled with mosaics and artwork, which is why it's been featured in so many television shows and magazines over the years. But there's one feature here that's all too hard to ignore: the pool. The pool at the Joule Hotel is built in the 10th floor that cantilevers 8 feet out over the ground below. The pool itself isn't terribly large, but it's still the standout and even stick-out feature of the hotel. And because it hangs over another level of the hotel, should any water get over the edge, it's not going to spray any of the pedestrians down below. But that still doesn't mean you want to be the person on the 9th floor. Yeah, that's one expensive splash zone. Number 9. Mona Vale Rock Pool. It feels like everything in Australia is out to get you. Extreme heat in the bush, deadly funnel web spiders lying in wait for their prey, copperhead snakes looking to inject their venom into the bloodstream, and even the kick of a kangaroo can disembowel you. Even some of the pools, it would seem, are out to make a killing. The Mona Vale Rock Pool is as beautiful as it is scary. The unique pool is situated on the tip of a sandspit near the northern end of Mona Vale Beach and offers a larger 100-foot pool for adults and a smaller pool for the kids. Both of these pools become surrounded by water at high tide, creating the illusion of floating in the middle of the ocean. But when the weather is especially poor and the sea is especially choppy, you can expect those waves to come right into the pool and sweep you back out to sea if you're not careful. The Mona Vale Rock Pool is a stunning example of both nature's beauty and fury, and if you're here at the wrong time, it will prove to be one of the scariest swimming pools in the world. Number 8. Perivolas Hotel Infinity Pool. Well, we've seen some pretty stellar scary pools so far. Some of them are in the ocean, and some at the top of a high-rise building, but how about one at the top of a steep cliff? Located in Santorini, Greece, the Perivolas Hotel sits high on a cliff and features an infinity pool with stunning views of the Aegean Sea. The buildings around this elegant swimming pool are designed to blend in with the natural setting and are done in the traditional stark white style for which Santorini is famous. From the swimming pool's deck, looking out onto the sea, it can be hard for a guest to see where the infinity pool ends and where the ocean and the turquoise blue sky begin. But if you're really unsure, then all you have to do is swim to the edge and look straight down, because that's one hell of a drop. Much like seeing how the sausage is made, the infinity pool at this Greek hotel can be a bit freaky for those who prefer to stay a little bit closer to the ground. Number 7. Four Seasons Safari Lodge Pool. For some travelers, embarking on an African safari sounds like the trip of a lifetime. Then there are those who would rather relax by the pool with a cocktail in hand, like me. And then you have the people in between, the people who want the thrills while they chill. Luckily, or perhaps unlucky for them, they can stay down at the Four Seasons Safari Lodge in the Serengeti. But this lodge is home to a free-form infinity pool overlooking a watering hole. So while you're swimming or splashing around, don't be surprised to see some of the local wildlife stopping by for a drink. Everything from zebras to elephants, and even the occasional lion will plop down on a hot day and walk right about in front of them. Cheers. Number 6. Yumura Onsen. Onsen is a Japanese tradition that dates back thousands of years. It's a great way to relax after a long day at work and clean up before heading home. And while there are many more modern onsen or sento, which offer what are essentially indoor showers and hot tubs, the true onsen are outdoors and use geothermal energy to keep those hot springs nice and steamy. But some onsen are hotter than others, and some of these can be downright dangerous if you're not careful. Yumura Onsen is a small village located in Shinonsen town in the Hyogo prefecture of Japan, and is home to a piping onsen. Every minute, the natural hot spring pumps 2,300 liters of hot water into the river in the town. But it's so hot that in the winter months you can see steam rising off the surface of the water, creating an eerie atmosphere. At the heart of this onsen town is Arayu, the high-temperature water source. But this isn't the type of onsen that you would ever want to get in, because the water flows naturally at 98 degrees Celsius, and you can see the local people using it in various ways, including cooking in the boiling water. The flow is divided into two sections, upper and lower. The upper part is for items that do not give off bitter scum, such as eggs, whereas the lower section is used for items that do give off that bitter scum, such as mountain and root vegetables. It's a unique balance that the town has been able to strike that offers a certain level of cleanliness the culture takes such pride in. And while there's no shortage of locals boiling their eggs in the onsen water, there is a smaller, less extreme foot bath to soothe the soul. Number 5. Morning Glory Pool. Not every pool is meant for swimming, and such is the case with the Morning Glory Pool. Don't let the name fool you, because going for a dip in this watering hole could be your last. The Morning Glory Pool is a natural hot spring in the Yellowstone Upper Geyser Basin of the United States, named after the beautiful flower. This pool sees hundreds, if not thousands, of visitors a year, all of whom take pictures of the otherworldly watering hole from afar. So how did it get its unique look? Well, the delicate blue water is created by thermophilic bacteria, which thrive in the pool's incredibly high heat. For over a century, the Morning Glory Pool has sadly suffered from inconsiderate visitors who have thrown coins, bottles, and trash into its waters, which has slowly built up over time and blocked some of the thermal vents and reduced the heat of the pool, allowing other bacteria to begin working their way in at the edges, creating a red and yellow ring around the pure blue center. Well, this rainbow hue is indeed beautiful. The beauty is a sad one, as the invasive yellow bacteria continues to close in. There was once a time when the Morning Glory Pool truly lived up to its namesake with a deep blue hue, and so now the question is, what will it look like in another 100 years? Well, occasionally, often following seismic activity, the pool erupts in a geyser, and there's a sad sliver of hope that these eruptions may clear that pool of trash. Number 4. Dubai Aquarium. Alright, it's no surprise that Dubai is splashing onto this list for a second time now. The Extreme City's got one of the most epic aquariums in the world that allows divers and aquatic enthusiasts to get up close and personal with some of the most beautiful fish from the area, one of which is pure nightmare fuel, the sand tiger shark. The shark is missing an eye, and it looks like he's got either lockjaw or deformed gums because that nasty maw simply will not close. Yeah, it's certainly an ugly beast, but also one that probably wouldn't last too long in the wild thanks to those characteristics. So while it seems to be both content and harmless within the waters of the aquarium, it's not the type of creature you'd feel comfortable around unless you feel like entering your very own horror movie. Now, this sand tiger shark seems more curious, if anything, about the divers who come in the water. And it's even gotten a little too close for comfort, with some of these aquatic adventurers even coming within inches of some of their faces. That's a nightmare. Number 3. Lake Hillier. Swimming in a crystal clear blue lake is awesome, no doubt, but what about a pink lake? Yeah, you best stay as far away from one of those as you can. But you've never heard of a pink lake before? Well, then you clearly haven't been to Lake Hillier in Australia. Yeah, Australia is a continent full of all sorts of natural oddities, and so why should their lakes be any different? Lake Hillier is a bright bubblegum pink, about 2,000 feet long and 820 feet wide. But this odd body of water was discovered over 2 centuries ago in 1802, and to this day, no one's totally sure how it got its unique color. But many biologists do agree that the bright pink hue of Lake Hillier's water is due to an overabundance of a microalga that produces carotenoids, which is also a pigment in carrots. Now, generally speaking, the best way to see this phenomenon from Lake Hillier is by helicopter or plane to give you a bird's eye view, but you can also get up close and personal if you want. This pink lake won't melt your skin, but it's got a salinity of 30%, which is quite high, and you can find salt deposits all along its shoreline. But this is not the type of water you want to drink, get in a cut, or worse, get in your eye. Ouch. Number 2. Tokyo Summerland Wave Pool. Wave pools can be a lot of fun. They're a great way to get the ocean experience without all the sand. That is, unless you are at the wave pool at Tokyo Summerland, the most crowded wave pool in the world. Where to even begin with this one? Well, seeing as though there are quite literally hundreds of people here at a time, it doesn't really even look like fun. There's no personal space, and the thought of so many strangers bumping into you while you're trying to have some fun kinda seems awful. Plus, if you go under the waves, it doesn't seem like you're coming back up. With so many bodies, the odds of the lifeguards seeing you are slim to none, and the odds of you finding a free space to come up for air almost seem non-existent. And even though the pool may ask swimmers to get a shower before they get in, you really have to wonder how many people actually follow that rule. And don't forget about all the children and probably some adults who would sooner relieve themselves in the wave pool rather than go through the crowd to find the bathroom. Yeah, this isn't the type of water you want getting in your eyes or mouth, but with so many waves, it feels nearly impossible to walk away unscathed. Number 1. Deep Joy. Most fancy hotels around the world are gonna have their own nice indoor pool. And hey, we've already seen a few of them in today's video. But there's one hotel indoor pool that really puts the rest to shame. I am, of course, talking about Y40, more commonly known as the Deep Joy. And with a name like that, what's not to love? The Deep Joy can be found in the Hotel Milipini in Italy, and when it opened in 2014, the Deep Joy snatched the record of the world's deepest pool from Nemo 33. In fact, Deep Joy has Nemo 33 beat by quite a bit, with a spooky length of 140 feet down. In total, Deep Joy is filled with over 1 million gallons of water that's kept between 89 and 93 degrees Fahrenheit at all times, so that divers can experience the best possible water conditions at any depth. So no matter how far you go down or how dark it gets, the water is going to stay warm enough to keep the blood flowing. This is another facility that welcomes non-divers as well into their underwater tunnel so they can experience what it's like to exist at such depths in a much safer, less horrifying low-pressure environment. I'll see you tomorrow.
Watch our Waves playlist for more top 15 videos about massive waves. Sit back, relax, and binge watch all of our best wave videos.